everyone. So the cold weather is here in Minnesota. We just had our first snowfall, so you know what that means, right? Well, maybe not, but to me, it means that it is movie season. Getting nice and cozy with some blankies while it's snowing outside and watching a good movie. So yeah, the title of the video is my favorite psychological thriller and suspense movies. So what I mean by that is, well, I first got introduced to these sorts of movies from when I was a kid, and my mom would watch these sort of movies. I remember the channel Lifetime being on a lot, since the time, I was a little kid. So yeah, my mom and I, my aunt, my grandma, we would watch those sorts of movies. So yeah, I remember seeing a lot of Lifetime movies, like crime, family drama, mental health, homicides. So yeah, things of that nature. So yeah, I remember the movies like A Face to Die For, Ultimate Deception with Yasmin Bleeth, A Killer Among Friends with Tiffany Amber Thiessen, the Betty Broderick story. I remember The Face of Evil with Nancy Gold. She plays like a mentally disturbed college student. Like I remember, some other movies, like I remember one, it was about a teenage girl and her mom. Her daughter didn't make the cheer team or something like that, and the mom was just crazy. And I remember a couple about like eating disorders, like there was one called For the Love of Nancy, that also had Nancy Gold in it. I remember another one, it was called Dying to Dance. It's about a ballet dancer. So yeah, I remember being pretty intrigued by those movies. Very troubled women, families, marriages, relationships. It was movies based on those sort of issues. Yeah, my mom loves watching movies, so I've seen a lot of these since I was a teenager and young adult. These days, I more so am into reading rather than watching movies. But yeah, I still like to watch a good movie sometimes, so yeah. So yeah, I have a list of 15 movies here, and they are not in any particular order. So first up, I have the movie Bone Collector from 1999, starring Angelina Jolie and Denzel Washington. So Angelina Jolie and Denzel Washington play police detectives, and they are trying to solve a case having to do with a serial killer. So yeah, I like this movie. It gave me a bit of a rush, and Angelina Jolie was pretty good in it. Next up, I have the movie Misery from 1990. So this movie is about an author and one of his crazy fans. The author, he gets hurt really bad in a car accident, and I don't know if this fan was stalking him, or I don't quite recall, but yeah, she ends up being in the vicinity, and she happens to find where he crashed his car and he's hurt and injured, so she takes him to his place, and it's all downhill from there. Maybe it sounds lame, but yeah, trust me, this movie was a good watch, and it stars Kathy Bates. Next, I have the movie Silence of the Lambs from 1991. It stars Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster is excellent in this movie. She plays a detective, and this is another movie about a serial killer, a case that she's trying to figure out. So, yeah. So, the next movie I have is called Flowers in the Attic from 1987. So this movie is about a few siblings. They are basically trapped in the attic, and they live in the attic of the home of where they reside. So yeah. And next I have The Rich Man's Wife from 1996. So this movie stars Halle Berry, And yeah, I love Halle Berry. Of course, I would love Halle Berry. We're both biracial, but yeah, she had quite a few good movies in the 90s. There was also Losing Isaiah, and she played Dorothy Dandridge. I believe that was called Introducing Dorothy Dandridge. There was another movie she was in. It was called Why Do Fools Fall in Love? I actually liked that movie. I wasn't sure, but yeah, I ended up really liking that movie. But yeah, in this movie, it's called The Rich Man's Wife. She basically gets framed for her husband's murder. Yeah, I thought the movie was pretty interesting, and yeah, she looks gorgeous in it. So next I have a movie called Double Jeopardy from 1999, starring Ashley Judd. So I first saw this movie when I was a kid. I believe I was like in 5th grade. So yeah, it is a little bit unrealistic in some aspects, so don't judge me too hard. But I mean, it's just a movie. I still really liked it. I watched it again a few years ago. I thought it was still pretty good. So yeah, this is another movie where Ashley Judd, she plays a character. She gets framed for her husband's homicide. I thought Ashley Judd did a dashing job, and it's set in New Orleans, which, it was just amazeballs. I love New Orleans. That was my first time seeing what New Orleans was like, and I'm like, yeah, I need to go there one day. Next up, I have the movie Mommie Dearest from 1981. So this movie is about the adopted child of the Hollywood star Joan Crawford. So yeah, it's an interesting tale. It follows her from childhood into young adulthood. So next on my list, I have the movie Set It Off from 1996. It's starring Jada Pinkett Smith, Queen Latifah. So yeah, basically it's about these few girlfriends. They're having trouble with money. So yeah, they become career criminals, and the movie is about them, evading law enforcement. Next up, I have the movie Black Widow from 1987. So this movie follows a gold-digging woman who keeps moving from husband to husband, and she ends up in Hawaii, and about an investigator who's, trying to track the woman down. So yeah, that's the plot of the movie. So next I have the movie The Perfect Murder from 1998. So this movie stars Michael Douglas and Gwyneth Paltrow. It's about, so Michael Douglas plays a millionaire, and then Gwyneth Paltrow plays his wife. So yeah, Michael Douglas plays like a Wall Street banker in New York City, and his wife is much younger than him. So basically what it's about the wife is cheating on her husband. So basically he arranges for her to be, unalived. So next I have the movie The Hand That Rocks the Cradle from 1992. So this movie is about a nanny. She works in the home for a family, and she starts trying to take the place of the wife. And it doesn't end out good. Okay, so next up I got some old Hollywood for everyone. Next I have the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane from 1962. So this movie is about two aging sisters. They used to be movie stars in Hollywood. So yeah, the younger sister is disabled, and she was put in the care of her older sister, who is basically an evil person, and she's basically torturing her younger sister, and she can't escape. So yeah, that's the whole plot of the movie and what the movie is about. Next, I have the movie Fatal Attraction from 1987. So this movie also stars Michael Douglas, and then it stars Glenn Close. So yeah, basically, the main character, Michael Douglas, he's married, he has a kid, and he has an affair with another woman. So, so yeah, basically the movie is about, so the woman that he has an affair with is played by Glenn Close. She wants the relationship to work out with him, but he's staying with his wife, so she gets enraged and goes crazy. So yeah, that's the plot of the movie. Yeah, basically a classic. Next up, I have What Lies Beneath from 2000, starring Michelle Pfeiffer. So this movie is about a middle-aged couple. They're like late 40s or so. So yeah, they're empty nesters. Their daughter goes off to college. So the wife is played by Michelle Pfeiffer. Her husband starts having an affair, affairs on her with much younger women. So yeah. So yeah, the movie takes a really dark turn and she finds out some strange things. And lastly, but not leastly, I have the movie Single White Female from 1992. So this movie is called Single White Female because the main character in the movie, she puts an ad in the newspaper for a roommate. So, she she's a single white female and she's looking for a roommate. So yeah, she gets a roommate, and the roommate happens to turn out to be pretty crazy. So yeah. So yeah, it's about a young woman. She's just starting out in her career. She just broke up with her boyfriend. She's out on her own in New York City. So yeah, it's also pretty relatable. So and yeah, the movie ends up pretty disturbing. So yeah, that was it for my top favorite psychological suspense type movies. So hope you guys got some ideas for some movies you want to watch, and I hope you enjoy it if so. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.